Hello, my friend. My name is Benjamin. I want to show you how to build a standard and professional enterprise RAG system. Okay, so we'll be doing everything using Databricks. First, let me help you understand the concept of RAG. RAG simply means retrieval-augmented generation. So whenever you hear the word RAG, the first thing that should come to your mind is retrieval. But then if I should ask, what are you retrieving? Okay, so in every RAG system, there is information somewhere waiting for you to use. So when you hear retrieval, it means we are getting information from somewhere. And so since there's an information that we want to retrieve, then we go ahead to understand the next part, which is augmentation, prompting the information. So we are working with LLM, large language model. And finally, the last aspect is generation, which means we are getting answers that are grounded in that real data. So let's go ahead. I want to show you how this works right inside Databricks. So you just quickly have to set up your Databricks workspace. You come over here, and what we'll be doing is to create a special notebook for this particular exercise. I'll call it System RAG. Okay, so that's fine. So we just have to set up a catalog schema. So you can set those up using either your user interface, which you can do, and we can also do the same using code. So let me use code. So let's say create catalog if not exist RAG system. So we set it to be used, say use catalog. Set up our schema, so we say create schema, and let's call this RAG schema. We'll say RAG schema. But before you run this, please let's attach the schema to this catalog. So we just say, let's paste this here. So create schema, RAG system catalog, and inside that catalog we have a schema. Now, if you are using VS Code, you tend to be more direct. But since we're using Databricks is a unified AI and data platform. Don't forget, my name is Benjamin. Please, I love you so much. I'll bring more powerful and educating videos. So I want you to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel. Okay, so let's go straight to this, and then we'll have this. So we can say use schema, RAG schema. Okay, so let's go back and run this first one to create and initialize our catalog. Okay, nice one. You see catalog is ready. So let's run the second cell to create the schema and pay it to the catalog. Okay, that's completed. So now that we have done that, please let's just go back to, I'm just going to duplicate the screen to help us navigate back and front. So let's go to our menu bar, and we will go to our catalog. Let's search for that catalog. So just scroll down, you'll find the catalog we have just created, RAG system. And inside it is the schema. So please, I want you to understand that you can use whatever document you want to use. So for the sake of this video, we are doing a RAG PDF RAG system. So we are going to be uploading a PDF document. So to do that, just come to create, and then we're going to be creating a volume, not a table this time. So I want us to give this a name, and I'll call this RAG. Let's call this RAG volume. Okay, so and right inside this RAG volume, we have the privilege of uploading whatever file or document we want to use to create the RAG. And so this is the document I will be uploading. This is my resume, so I will be asking questions and getting answers from it. So let me show you how you can get this uploaded. So just click on upload this to volume, and then you can choose from your desktop files. This select files. I have this file, I've named it new Benjamin. This is my resume, so I'm just going to click it. So you can go ahead and add whatsoever file or PDF file you have available with you. And so next we quickly upload it. And that's okay. We'll have it right here. You can see it's successfully uploaded. Let me take this one out of the screen. So you can decide to open it right here and view it yourself. So having done that, let's go straight to create this system. So let's go back to the notebook we're working with. Okay, right at this point, all we need to do is go and extract all information from the PDF, and then we break it down into smaller chunks. So let me show you how to do this. Quickly get the path where the PDF is stored. So to get it, just navigate back to the PDF, and then you just come right here and you see these three dots. When you click on it, it's going to show you open preview, copy path. So what you want to do is copy the path to this file. And so we come back here and we paste the path. Don't forget your double quote. So just paste it inside so it becomes a string. So let's quickly do a pip install of the library we will be using for this, which is PyPDF. And now importing from the library, we say from PyPDF, import PDF reader. And next we join all the information together. So let me just write this comment, say join all the information together. So to do that, we have a variable called text. So we say text is equal to, we have a double quote, and we say dot join, and in bracket we say for pages dot extract, and we're extracting all the text. So this is the command we use to extract the information from all the pages. So we say pages dot extract text. Now with this command is in this library, so we say for P in PDF reader, then we set our path. So if you can remember vividly, this is the path. So we didn't even run it, so let's go and run this. Let's run it. So remember, we have set the path to this variable called path path. So that's what we are going to call here. So we say path dot pages. So quickly run this and let's see what it gives to us. Okay, so let's quickly query this one and see text. Okay, nice one. So you see we have successfully extracted it using the PDF extract command. So if you are working with the CSV, there will be no need to use the PDF reader command or the extract text command, but we are working with the PDF, so we are converting it first from a PDF, extracting every file, every page in the PDF. So the next thing, since we have extracted it, let's break it down into smaller chunks. So your PDF might have 1 million pages. That's if it's possible. So you might have a very large document. So instead of just serving everything so huge to your LLM, you have to break it down into smaller chunks. Chunks is equal to a square bracket, and we say text. In square bracket also we say I. So we are breaking it down into chunks of 500 characters each. 500 characters each. So we say to I plus 500. And so let's close this. So we say for I in range of 0 and the length of the text. So we say for I in range of 0 and length of text. Okay, so we are starting from 0 and we will go over, reiterate over the entire PDF files. So we have here 500. Okay, so let's quickly run this. And let's see how it's going to be. So we say chunks. So you see we have broken it down again. So the next thing I want us to do is to save this as a Spark data frame. Okay, in the description of this video there will be a link to access the code. And so very well, please take a careful look at this. So we are creating a Spark data frame, and then we are going to pick them out as a list, create a list, and then after which we go ahead to save it as a table. So we're saving it in the same catalog and schema, but this time we are giving the table a name, and so I'm calling it RAG table. So let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. As you see here, this is the catalog. When you come to catalog, you see for yourself here, this is the catalog name, and then this is the schema. So we are still using the same catalog and the same schema. So when you go to your schema, you will find both the volume and the data table. So for now, it's showing only the volume because we are yet to add the data table to it. But then when we run this, the table will get created and we can go back, refresh this, and we will find it inside. But take note that sometimes you might not find it inside here. Just let's set our permissions. So you can set this to all account users. And we are giving all privileges. Okay, you can see it has showed here. So we have RAG delta. Okay, so you can also see we have volumes here. So when you click on volume, you see we have RAG volume. And so if we have a model which we have stored or a function, we will also as well find them here. So guys, congratulations, you're making good progress. See, I'm teaching you the standard way. This is how companies do it in real life using Databricks. So I'm teaching you calmly, step by step, so that you can be able to do it right in front of your interviewer. So let's go ahead. Just come over to the menu bar here and we will go straight to compute. We want to go over and create a vector search index. And what we are actually doing is we are creating embeddings from our data. So just come to vector search. I already have one here, so I just going to delete this one. So please, we are creating an endpoint and we will give this endpoint a name. I'll call this PDF point. So leave it here, it says standard, not storage optimized. So click on confirmed and it takes us to the next window where we have to create an index. So quickly, let me show you how this works. Just click on create index and then we will look for the catalog and the schema where our data table is. And so once you click on it, you are going to find your data table. Click on it also and go over to next. So I'll give this index a name. I'll call this PDF index. And we will select the primary key we created while we were converting it to Spark DataFrame, which is called ID. And make sure you don't click on this that says use existing embeddings column, because we have not created any embeddings, but we're going to compute it afresh. So just come over. And another thing, if you decide to leave this blank, it's actually going to automatically select them and synchronize those that are relevant for this index vector search. So you can leave that blank and allow Databricks to do it for you, and come right here and select the column, which is a chunk that we want to convert and use for this purpose. So it's going to offer us some models, some large language models to convert and embed the information. And so to get the embeddings, we're going to be using Databricks GTE large language model. So we just click on it and then we go over. So you can come here and say vector search endpoint. Let's select the endpoint, which is PDF endpoint. Okay, so if you select that, it's going to tell you that change data field must be enabled in order to create an index. So you can either enable it while right inside your notebook, write the command or the query to do that. Or what you need to do is, I'll show you another way to do that, is come over here and make sure you start your serverless data warehouse. And it says starting. Okay, that's nice. So we have it's already running. So let's just go back. I want to show you something important. So it says change data field must be enabled to create an index from this table. You see, enabling change data field requires you to have the compute running. So automatically we have done that. And next, come right here and click on create. And then congratulations, my dear friend. It takes us to this wonderful window where we have more details as regards the RAG we're building. So we have here, it says overview, and the index status say provisioning index. It's still in process of initializing it. And so you can come over to columns and you see we have the ID, the chunks, and we have the vectorized column here. And so we can have a sample of the data as well. But then it says vector index RAG system in this part is not ready yet. So let's go over back to overview and just wait for maybe 1 minute or two. And to get more information about the status of this index, when you scroll down, you'll find this one that says pipeline ID. This is the pipeline ID. You can decide to click on it and get more information. And this is the update status. So it is waiting for initial synchronization. And then, okay, congrats, my friend. Now it says update status is completed. Let's go up again. You see the index that now says data synchronized and it's actually working and live. So let's go over and have a sample of the data. So you can see we have the different chunks. So we have about 8 rows of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have about 7 rows. And so you can see the vectorized embeddings. See, instead of having it as string, now it has converted it to float. We have float because there's a point here, so we can actually set permissions, get more details as regards to this. So it's not just about having the RAG built. You have to understand the concept of setting up a standard retrieval augmented generation system. Of what good will it be if we don't check it out ourselves? So you can just come right here that says create. When you click on create, it pops up this little, and you can query your index, or go ahead to even connect it to a journey space, and then you can ask questions and you retrieve all necessary information from it. And very important, there is something called playground in Databricks. There is a playground in Databricks. So just quickly click on playground. And inside the playground, we can test our index. So all you have to do, there are so many large language models inside Databricks, but not all of them can be used for this particular purpose. So there is GPT 5.1, Codex Max, there's GPT 5.2, there's GPT 5, and there are quite a number of them. But for this, you see, if you try to use this one, you can say use endpoint. If you ask a question, now it's going to give you error. It's going to return an error message. Remember, this is my resume. So what if I go ahead to ask questions about my personal skills, my personal experiences, and about getting a summary? Sometimes you might not be the owner of the file. This might just be directly from a website. So let me show you how this is going to work. We come here first and make sure our tool is connected to this playground. And so the tool means your catalog connected to your schema connected to the PDF index which we created last. And so let's ask a question, and so we can say what are my technical skills? Now it's returning an error message here. So it says the endpoint Databricks GPT 5.1 Codex Max failed to stream the response. Retry without streaming. Okay, look for the ones that instruct models. For example, we have MetaLlama 3.370b instruct. So just click on it and also say use endpoint. And so it's going to give us the response. So we can say words are my work experiences. Okay, so it says I do not have any information about that. Okay, something is not working fine. So I'm going to show you what to do. So let's take note that we have connected index. So it's actually supposed to get information from it, but I tell you something is not on. So we're going to go back. Let me show you what to do. Come back right here in your compute and we will switch on our warehouse. So just come right here. To get it, you have to just come to SQL warehouse or come over to compute. So once it's on, it's going to connect the index to the playground. So we can just go ahead and say my resume. And so it says, I am using this tool to search for relevant data related to your resume. So it says everything inside the PDF file. And it's able to tell us that I have experience as a junior data scientist and skills in programming language. So this makes real sense. This is the standard way. And so we are going to ask more questions and say, what are my work experiences? So it says the user is asking about their work experiences and the functions. And the function can be used to retrieve relevant information. So you see, this is working perfectly. Okay, it's working perfectly. So these are my work experiences, and I have worked in this organization from November 2024 to February 2025. And it says you also have experience in building scalable lakehouse architectures, integrating AI-driven driving solutions, and designing production-grade ETL pipelines. So guys, my name is Benjamin. I want you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget that you too can become a pro. So I will also show you in the next video how to use LangChain alongside VS Code, not just Databricks. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Benjamin Uka.